What is going on, guys? It is Matthew back with another video, and today we have the Best Zombies map, episode 28. We have Buried versus Origins. Now, to explain what's going on, these last couple of episodes, so last episode was our first one of round 3. We had Buried versus Mob of the Dead won, and now we have Buried and Origins competing right now, and then the next episode will be Mob of the Dead and Origins for the next one. So what's going to happen is that the loser of these three, whoever gets the least amount of points, is going to drop out. The two winners will go on and compete for the finale. So, but let's just focus on right now. We have episode 28. We have Buried versus Origins. Now, let's just start off with gameplay. So, Buried is a pretty fun map to play. You can do it solo, you can do it 2, 3, 4 players. Lots of stuff to do, a lot of things to keep you entertained. Brought a lot of cool features in as well. Yeah, it is pretty easy, to be honest, but it's still a great experience. Origin, sort of the same thing. You can play solo, 2, 3, 4 players. It's fun, any amount. Lots of things to do, lots of quests, tasks to keep you entertained. It can be challenging at times, but you can also get some pretty overpowered wonder weapons like the staffs, ray gun, stuff like that. That can really help you out. So I think both maps were good, but I think that Origins does a slightly better job because I think it has more things to do, and it's a little bit more challenging. So I went with 3 to Buried, 4 to Origins. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be keeping, like, usually what I do is I write the total so far down, I put it on screen, but this for these last couple episodes, I think I said in the last one, I'm going to withhold that. I'm going to keep the score secret until the end. So if you feel like adding them up as you go, you can, but I'm going to keep it a secret until the end, just to keep it a little more exciting. But anyways, next up we have training spots. Now, Buried has the spot sort of out in the town, like, by the jail cell, by the original box location. It has that area around there. It sort of has over by the candy store, by the fountain too. You can sort of try over there. Origins, it doesn't really have a training spot, like a super good one. You sort of have to do a full map train. You could train in the crazy place, but the only problem is the walls, like, they always change, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I went with 3 to Buried and 2 to Origins on that. Next up, we have difficulty level. Now, Origins is a quite balanced map. It's probably a little bit on the harder side because you just have things like the Panzer and just some hard things, like sometimes, like a lot of distractions, like the Templar zombies. I died earlier on Origins. I was just playing a game for fun earlier, and I died because I was running after the generators, and I ended up dying. So it can be challenging at times, but on the other hand, you have things like the staffs and stuff like that that can help balance it out and make it a little bit easier. So I think that balance is good. As we're Buried is probably the easiest map, like, in all of zombies. Like, think, like, you have, for one thing, you have a wonder weapon with infinite ammo. You just have a whole bunch of things like drawing chalk on the wall gives you 3,000 points. Like, if you do it on double points, you can get 2,000 free points for holding square down. Like, just other things, just like the time bomb, like, you can go back in time if you go down and you lose all your stuff, you can go back in time. Like, the witches can give you free perks, so you can get free, you can get all free perks. Like, just so many things just make it so easy, and it sort of can get boring after a while. Like, a lot of times I'm on Buried, I get to around 40 and I'm just bored. I'm ready to give up at that point. So I like Buried. It's a great map, but it's way too easy. So I went with 1 to Buried, 4 to Origins. Next up, we have Innovation. Now, Buried brought in a lot of cool things. It brought in just the whole concept of Leroy having to open up stuff. I thought that was a really cool thing that they added, with the candy and the beer, all that stuff that you give to him. Other cool things they added, just some, like, the Paralyzer, Ray Gun Mark II, even other guns, like the Remington New Model Army stands out to me. Like I said earlier about drawing chalk on the wall. the maze, the witches, just stuff like that. It brought a lot of stuff. But I don't think it quite compares to Origins. Origins brought a bunch of buildables. It brought 4 staffs that you can build and upgrade. It brought the Panzer, like the giant robots, the generators, like the Maxis drone, just a whole bunch of other things, and a lot of really cool weapons too. Like they brought back a lot of like World at War, Black Ops 1 weapons too in that map too, which was something nice that they did. Like just like the MP40, STG-44, stuff like that. And obviously it's remastered in Zombies Chronicles too. So you can play it on 3 different. Actually, you can play it on 4 different consoles. You can play it on Black Ops 2 on the Xbox 360 and PS3, and you can play it backwards compatibly on the Xbox One, and then you can play the Chronicles version on the Xbox One and PS4. So a lot of cool things about Origins. So I went with 4 to Buried, 6 to Origins. Next we have perks. Now Buried brought in a new perk. And I'm really sad it's not on any other map, Vulture. I don't know why Vulture's not on any other map. Like, it's such a good perk, but it's exclusive to that map. I wish they would have brought it in other maps. Anyways, it's a really good perk. Origins brought the Wonder Fizz machine, which isn't an actual perk, but every map after Origins, I think except for the Giant, has the Wonder Fizz in it. Even all the Chronicles maps have it. But yeah, I thought the Wonder Fizz was really cool, so I went with just 1-to-1 for both. Wonder Weapons. Now, this is a big one for both maps. Buried brought in the Paralyzer, which is sort of a noob's weapon, but let's be honest, the Paralyzer is still a good weapon. It has infinite ammo. I know a lot of noobs use it, but I like to use it too. I mean, it's a fun weapon to use. Also, the Ray Gun Mark II, it was brought in on this map, and it was put in every other Black Ops 2 map, and put in with a lot of the Chronicles too, which was really, really nice. But I don't think it quite compares to Origins with 4 elemental staffs and then 4 upgraded staffs. And even on the Xbox 360, I even know there's even a glitch where you can hold 3 staffs at once. Check out Crash Power's video if you haven't seen that glitch before, but it's really cool. Like this, I don't think it works on the Chronicles. I think it just works on the Xbox 360, but and maybe PS3. I don't know. Look up his tutorial. But anyways, it's really, really good Wonder Weapons. 6 amazing Wonder Weapons, but Origins brought more and probably better Wonder Weapons. So I went with 1 to Buried, 2 to Origins. Next up is bosses. Now both these maps brought in quite terrible bosses. The witches on Buried. What's nice about them is that they give you a free perk. What's not so nice about them is that they take a lot of ammo to kill, and if they touch you, they steal 2,000 points. Which, that's why when I normally go in there, I usually buy double tap or something, or I'd rather at least spend it on double tap than spend it on nothing, and just have it stolen. That's why I like to go into the maze with or into the witch's place with no points. So yeah, but they don't really hurt you that much. But the Panzer, he's a pretty tough boss to kill. I was playing earlier today, and luckily I got a ray gun, and the ray gun's a really good weapon to take him out. Some of the staffs are good to take him out too, but he can be a hard weapon to take out, or a hard boss, I should say, to take out if you don't have that great of weapons. So he could be a challenge, but they were both sort of the same, so I just went with 1-to-1. Next up is colors. Now, Buried is sort of an underground town. It's supposed to sort of look a little bit dark, depressing, and I think it does a pretty good job at that. Origins, sort of the same thing. It's in the World War I trenches, and I think it looked great for what it was on Black Ops 2 on the 360 and PS3. But when they remastered it for Zombies Chronicles, it just looks so cool. I don't even know what else to say. It's just a super big improvement, and it was just really good. So I went 2 to Buried, 3 to Origins. And last up, we have a storyline. So the Buried Easter egg. Remember how I said earlier how Buried is the easiest map ever? Well, Buried's Easter egg is probably one of the hardest Easter eggs you can do. It's very difficult. It's very tedious, and the storyline itself, it's the end of the transit crew. You have to decide if they're gonna help Maxis or Richthofen. And it's the farthest ahead Zombies map chronologically. I think it takes place in 2035. I think it takes place because Moon and Nuketown take place in 2025. In Transit takes place in the early 2030s, and then Die Rise takes place the next day, I'm pretty sure, of Transit, and then Buried takes place in like the late 2030s. So it's the farthest Zombies map ahead chronologically. I think Origins is the furthest ahead, or the earliest. So it ends really the zombie storyline because it's the farthest ahead map. And Origins, it's also with Buried. You need 4 players to do the Easter egg because when you get to the sharpshooter step, there's just no other way to do it. You need 4 players. Origins is a very I wouldn't say difficult, but it's a very long Easter egg. Like, you don't need 4 players on that, which is nice. You can do it solo, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players. It's the easiest with the more players, but you can do it solo. And I've never attempted it before, but you could theoretically. And you get, I know it's a very controversial ending, but it was very, very big to the zombie storyline. So I had to go 3 to 5 in favor of Origins. So anyways, our final score for this video is going to be 19 to Buried and 28 to Origins. So, actually, I'm pretty sure right now, Mob of the Dead won the last one and Origins won this one. So that means Buried is... The next episode is supposed to be Mob of the Dead and Origins. But, I guess we don't have to do it twice anymore. We just have to do it once. So Buried is officially eliminated. There will be no episode 30 anymore, I guess, because we just don't need to. So, Mob of the Dead and Mob of the Dead and Origins will be the next episode. So stay tuned for the finale. Episode 29 will be the finale, and that will decide the best zombies map of all time. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I mentioned in my video yesterday that I got back from camp, and I'm going to be trying to upload more frequently. And anyways, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.